Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show today. I'm really glad everybody could join us. Today, we are going to be diving in and talking about a couple of different things. We're going to be talking about how to build credit for your EIN that's not linked to your SSN. Now, a lot of you that follow me know that this is something that I talk a lot about. Today, I'm really going to map out the exact steps for you to be able to get business credit for your company that's not linked to your actual Social Security number. The other thing today we're going to be diving into is we're going to be talking about loans. We're going to be talking about loans and credit lines and other forms of financing that you can get even as a startup, even as somebody that has credit issues on the personal side to be able to basically be able to fund your company. So we're going to map this out step by step. I'm glad you joined us. And I think you're going to leave with a lot of actionable information. Later today, even in the show, I'll even talk to you a little bit about working with us versus doing this on your own. But regardless of what you decide to do, you're going to learn everything you need to know today to be able to get loans for your business as well as get business credit. So to tell you a little bit about who I am, if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Ty Crandall. I've actually got about 17 years of experience in the financial industry. I've owned a mortgage company. I owned a credit improvement company that I sold years ago. And I've been in the business credit financing space for quite a number of years now. So I actually speak about business credit worldwide. I mean, even invited to events as far as Singapore to talk about business credit. And I often do events all over the country, many of which they'll be coming up here in the fall. A lot of the speaking events take place kind of in the fall. So I speak from stage a lot about business credit financing. A lot of people that are on today have probably heard me actually in person talking about the topics that we're going to be talking about today. I'm also the author of 2 books, Perfect Credit and Business Credit Decoded. I bet if you look, you'll see that these are 2 of the best-selling books that you're going to find on Amazon. I know the business credit book is, not really sure on the personal credit side, but definitely have experience in both areas. I'm also an authority with news stations, radio shows, TV shows, and magazines. I've been named in Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur, those type of sources, and I'm often on podcast radio shows, these types of things, talking about the principles that we're going to be diving into today. And I also oversee the largest business credit operation or coaching operation in the United States. We have about 1,000 or so partners around the country that offer business credit and financing as a service through our white label program. And then what I do is I have a really big team that helps with all aspects of helping them and their customers obtain business credit, obtain financing. So what I'm about to tell you today isn't just based on principle. This is an idea that maybe it might work. This is based on thousands and thousands, well over 10,000 customers that we've helped with these principles alone and had success. And when you help that many people and you do the kind of volume that we do in a month, then we learn what's going on in real time as it's happening. So what you're going to learn is up to date. This is actually the most accurate information you're going to find when it comes to how to build business credit. So and again, I don't tell you all this stuff just to kind of pat myself on the back. For those people that really know me, I'm a very humble person. I just do this because I want you to know that I have the credentials to be able to talk to you about the topics that we're going to be diving into today. So speaking of today, what are we going to cover today? Well, we're going to cover a lot of things. We're going to talk about how to build business credit that's linked to your EIN and not your Social Security number, even if you're a startup, even if you have bad personal credit. And I'm going to tell you, I say within 7 days or less, but I literally mean that you're going to be able to walk away from the show today and take the steps to even obtain your first account that's not linked to your social, that's linked to your business credit. Another thing we're going to dive in is we're going to talk about how to immediately start using that credit to get what you want from major sources like Target, Walmart, Staples, Lowe's, Visa, MasterCard. These sources I list here are not the sources that will immediately give you credit. They're going to want to give you credit when you have a credit profile and score started. So how do you start a profile and score when you don't have one established now? Well, that's what we're going to dive into today. I'm going to show you how to immediately get credit that reports to the reporting agencies, then how to use that established credit to start getting major revolving store accounts, even Visa, MasterCard, fleet accounts, those type of things as well. How you can access loans, even as a startup, have credit challenges or lack of collateral. Look, this is what I've learned about the business lending space. Most people just don't know where to go to get money. It's not that there's a lack of money out there. There's actually a lot of funding options that cater to people with credit issues. And there's funding options that cater to people that are startups. And there's funding options that cater to people that don't have collateral. Most do nowadays. But what I find is this is what I call a cash access problem. People just don't know how to access the money. They don't know where to go to get the money. And today we're going to reveal a lot of that. I'm going to tell you what kind of sources you can go to get the money to get financing for your business if you fit into one of these buckets, or even if you don't. How to make money offering business credit financing. Not going to talk a lot about this, but if you own a business and you like to offer financing and credit to your customers, or maybe you have friends and family members that are also looking for money where you see an opportunity to help them and make some money on your own, or maybe you're just looking to get into a new business or add a secondary business to your existing business, we are going to touch upon that at the end, where we're going to dive in a little bit more to talk about how you can actually make money offering business credit and financing as well. But look, let's let the cat out of the bag. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know, a lot of people try to get money. A lot of people try to build business credit and they fail. And I talk to these people all the time, especially through our YouTube channel, where they'll leave a comment and go, yeah, I tried that, I tried this, and it didn't work, and this didn't work, and this didn't work. And a lot of that is because they don't have the information that we're going to be going over today. So what I do find, though, is most people who try to get money on their own, especially from their bank, when they need money. As a matter of fact, when I stand in front of a large audience and I ask people, where would you go if you need money? The unanimous call in the room is my bank. But the reality is banks are not the best source for business financing at all. Most of them don't even know very much about business credit at all. And this is because banks focus on very conservative risk by default. They're governed, they're actually insured by our government, so they have to be conservative in risk, and by default, the business lending space is very risky. So if you try to go to your bank to get money for a business, you're probably going to fail because they're going to want tax returns and good personal credit and good business credit and a lot of things that only a small percentage of the business population really has. And this is a big mistake that I see a lot of people make. And a lot of people don't even know that EIN credit can be built regardless of personal credit quality. And the reason for this is that, first of all, business credit itself is a pretty foreign concept to a lot of people that I talk to. They don't even know that business credit exists. And this is one of the reasons that I am here, because I found out the hard way about what it means to personally guarantee actual credit for your business. And when I found out there was a better way, and there were no advocates preaching about it, talking about it, teaching people how to do it, I decided to be that advocate. I wanted to stand up and help people understand this concept. So a lot of people don't know that business credit exists, and the people that do know don't know the little intricacies that you have to do or not do to not have your personal credit pulled. There's a few things we're going to talk about throughout the webinar, things that you need to know that if you do, then you or don't do the right things, then they're not going to even look at your personal credit. That's why personal credit quality doesn't matter, because you can get EIN credit without your personal credit even being pulled. How do you do that? Those are some of the things we're going to dive into. And many apply for credit in the wrong order. This is the biggest mistake I see when it comes to business credit building. People walk into Staples, they walk into their bank, they try to get money right away using their EIN, and they get denied because you can't do that. It doesn't work that way. You can't walk into Staples and get a consumer credit card when you have none, nor can you walk in to actually get a business credit card with your bank if you have no business credit established. You have to have a profile and score established first to take these steps, or to take that step. But if you take the proper steps in the right order, well, then the whole world opens up. Within 60 days, 90 days, literally max, you are talking about $3,000 to $10,000 store credit card accounts at Apple, at Dell, at Walmart, at Amazon, at the places that you do business with now anyways. And then even beyond that time frame, you start talking about fleet credit and other types of credit that becomes available. So a lot of entrepreneurs don't know that money's available based on business strengths. And this is something we'll dive into and dissect a little bit later. But a lot of people think they have to have a perfect business, good credit, good financials, good revenue, good profits to get money. That's just not the case. There's plenty of lenders out there that will look at one individual strength in your business and lend on that. So this is a lot of the reasons. These are four of the most common reasons I see that people fail trying to get money. And today we're going to dissect all these and show you how to overcome these hurdles so you don't actually get stuck. So look, the show's for you if you're looking to get money to start or grow a business. If you're just getting started, you'd like to start a business, or you're already well established, you're doing $2 million, $3 million, $5 million, then this webinar is definitely for you. As a matter of fact, when it comes to our partner program, it really works very well for people that are doing $1 million plus in business and people that already have an established database, which is why you definitely want to pay attention to the end when we dive into that. You want credit to grow that's not linked to your social security number. Why would you want credit that's not linked to your social? Well, maybe you have personal credit issues. Maybe you don't want to have the personal liability. Maybe you understand the importance of separating what takes place in your business from what happens in your personal financial situation. There's a lot of benefits that business credit provides that we're going to dive into. If you understand any of those, or you just want to make sure that you can build credit for your EIN that's not linked to your SSN, then definitely a good place for you to be. You have an interest in making money with business credit financing. Even if you don't, that's okay. Almost all of the show today is going to be about how to get money and credit for your business. We are at the end going to touch a little bit about making money with business credit financing, but I happen to oversee the only operation in the country that actually has a program designed to help you offer business credit and offer business loans as a service, where we've done a lot of the work, all the training, the marketing, all those things are done for you. And we'll talk a little bit about that later today in the show. So why can I help? Well, if you don't think that you can get credit or money to grow, I know how you feel. Like I said, I'm on my third business, and the first two businesses I bootstrapped. That means I spent my own money to fund my business. My mortgage company, I leveraged my house to get our office started. The credit company, we basically took almost every personal asset that we had to basically build. And then I got to where I am now, and it's a whole different other world, because I've learned the value and importance of being able to obtain loans, of being able to obtain credit to help me get to the next level faster. And that's the thing about bootstrapping. There's nothing wrong with bootstrapping a business. The process is just slow. You have limited profit. Your profit has to pay your salary and pay for the business growth. So you kind of mosey along. Whereas in a world where you want to really see big time growth, you use OPM. You use other people's money to do it. But I've been there. I've used my own money and bootstrapped and went much slower than I could have. And now I'm on the other side of that curve, where I've understood how to obtain money, how to obtain capital, how to obtain credit. And now I'm part of an organization that's growing very, very, very quickly because of doing a lot of things right. But one of the things we're doing right is being able to leverage OPM, other people's money, to get ourselves faster and bigger, or bigger faster. So I've built many businesses, as I said, using my own money and credit and not knowing there was a better way. And I actually lost everything due to personally guaranteeing. And this was what happened in the mortgage business. I owned a mortgage company, and it was the prime of the mortgage industry. It was the time where people said, "What do you do?" And you said, "I'm a mortgage broker." And people are like, "Wow, that's cool," because like that was the place to be. And then I stayed in it too long. And as the mortgage industry crashed, I was there. And even though I had a lot of money saved and a lot of money in credit, and I'd done a lot of preparation and thinking that I'd put together safeguards where I couldn't fail, a lot of things are out of our control that hurt our business. And I was one of those people that was adversely affected by that. And I ended up losing everything. Almost went into personal bankruptcy. I lost my home, lost our vehicles, ruined our credit, all because I personally guaranteed what took place in my business. And if I would have known about business credit before and not made those mistakes, then I would have been able to avoid that. But unfortunately, I didn't. I didn't know how to get loans. I didn't know what business credit was. So since I'd personally guaranteed and used my own funds to fund the business, when the business went down, I went down with it. And I learned the hard way of the difference between separating yourself. And this is the problem with us as entrepreneurs. We don't think about failing. We don't even think it's a possibility. So we don't think about what would happen if it failed and the impact to us personally until you've been through that. And then once you go through that, well, then it's life-changing. You understand the importance, and you'll do everything in your power to make sure that your personal life and personal finances aren't affected. And then what happened is a buddy of mine actually introduced me to exactly what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to map out the process of obtaining business credit financing. And if I have a chance, I'll even log in and show you a little bit about our business credit financial solution if I have time here at the end. And I'll show you the exact solution that I was introduced to many years ago that really changed my entire life. Because once I realized this existed, I decided to help educate, teach other people it did. And it's also the solution I use for this business that we currently have, Credit Suite. And it's really made a big impact in my life because I've been able to see story after story and talk to customers firsthand and hear how they were able to use money to start their business or to fund their business or grow their business or get them through bad times, whereas without having access to capital would have crushed them as it crushed me. So again, if you are where you are, I can very much relate. I bootstrap my own businesses. I failed in doing so. I've had a business that failed. I personally guaranteed my own money, lost it all, and then have been able to rebound back and understand the importance of getting capital, getting access to capital, and what that can mean. So let's talk about the basics. Enough about the kind of housekeeping type stuff. Let's talk a little bit more about the basics that we're diving into today, including what really is business credit. Well, business credit is credit that's obtained in a business name. So what happens is with business credit, the business itself is building its own credit profile and own score with its EIN number. And it always surprises me. A lot of people don't know what business credit is. And if you're in that boat, then it's okay. 90% of entrepreneurs don't know what business credit is. But what is astonishing to me is the people that I will see comment on a Facebook ad or comment on a YouTube video and just say, this is fraud. This is a scam. There's no such thing. It's interesting to me because anybody can pull the credit on your business. Anybody. We have the capability through two sources to pull credit on your business right now. I could tell you your business credit scores. I could tell you how many employees you have. I could tell you your revenues. I could tell you how many trade lines you've had, your high balances. I do not need your permission. I need your business name. If I have your business name, I can pull all of that information and anybody else can too. So not only is business credit very real and does your EIN have its own credit profile and score, but that profile and score is used by every lender, every credit issuer to make a lending decision when you apply for anything for your business. And it's readily available to anybody that wants to pull it. And to give you an idea, with one of our services we use, we paid about $500 and we get access to 50,000 business credit reports. So not only can we pull credit on almost any company we want, a lot of other sources can, but it costs very little money to do so. So a big reason why you want to focus on building business credit, because your competitors, your prospect, your clients, everybody can see this credit that's linked to your EIN. The credit is in the business name. So what's happening is it's based on your business's ability to pay, not you as the owner. This is why your personal credit doesn't matter, because when we establish some credit for your business EIN, then what happens is when you go to apply for credit, you leave your social off the application, they pull your business credit instead. And when they see that you have accounts reporting, which we call trade lines, and you paid those as agreed, well, then you have a profile and you have a score, and that profile and score will be used to determine your approval, not your personal credit. It doesn't even have to be looked at. And then once you do this, once you build even a little bit of basic credit, well, then almost every major retailer that exists today will give you access to credit without the personal guarantee, without the personal credit check. Most major stores, Staples and Lowe's and Sam's Club and Costco and Amazon and Walmart and BP, Chevron and Texaco. I mean, almost every major retailer will give you credit based on that EIN credit profile and score. But it has to happen in a certain order, and we call these tiers. So we're going to dive in, and I'm going to map out kind of how the tier system works, because when you apply for credit in the right order, in the right tiers, then that's when you start getting approved. For example, you can't go to Home Depot within the first round or two of applying for credit, or you'll get denied. You need to have X amount of trades to get to Home Depot, and that's some of the things we're going to dive into. You can even use this business credit to get Visa cards and MasterCards and American Express. Now, nowadays, this kind of cash credit, often they still want a personal guarantee, or they'll often still look at your personal credit until your business credit's well established. But those all become very viable options. And your ability to get loans, your ability to get real credit lines is significantly better with business credit. You cannot 100% have no chance of getting an SBA loan without having a business credit established. You can't walk into your bank and get a conventional loan without having business credit, because they look at something called a FICO SBSS score. And your FICO SBSS score, in order to be high enough to meet SBA requirements, has to have some kind of business credit established, even if your personal credit was perfect. So your chances of getting loans and credit lines, and if you've ever been denied for a business credit card or a credit line or a loan at your bank or with other sources, it's in large part probably due to your business credit. As a matter of fact, we have a whole pile of denials that people send us where the denial is the reason is business credit. We talk to businesses that do millions of dollars in revenue going through their bank account, and their bank account turns them down for $10,000 credit cards with the reason of not having established business credit. We talk to people and see denial after denial after denial of people that are trying to go and get merchant cash advances at places like On Deck, and even they pull business credit and then they get denied because of a lack of business credit. So this is widely used. It's widely pulled. They don't have to notify you that they're pulling your business credit, but it's used in those approval decisions. And by having established business credit, it makes your ability to get loans and credit lines significantly higher. So why is business credit awesome? Well, first of all, it has no effect on your personal credit. And this is a really big deal. I, again, have owned a consumer credit company, so I can tell you how the credit system works. And this is how it works. 35% of your payment, or 35% of your FICO score is based on your payment history. 30% of your FICO score is based on what's called utilization, which means the percentage of your high credit limit you're using. So the problem is a lot of people think they're going to use personal credit cards and they're going to use them to fund their business, or even worse. You think you're going to get a business credit card and all of a sudden it reports on your personal credit. So I'll give you an example. The Capital One Spark card is one of the easiest credit cards to get for a business. And you think it's a business credit card. It has your business name, you apply for it with your EIN, all that. But when you get that card, it reports on your personal credit report. Most quote unquote business credit cards do. So the problem is if you get a $10,000 limit business credit card through, let's say, Capital One Spark card, and you put more than $3,000 balance on that card, you are damaging your personal credit. How bad is the damage? Well, think of the math. If you are talking about personal credit, 35% of your score's payment history, 30% utilization. So that means by overutilizing an account, which means more than 30% of your limit, you almost hurt your score as much as if you paid that bill late. That's just the math of the FICO score. It's a big deal. So trying to use personal credit cards or business credit cards that report to the personal credit reporting agencies to fund your business is very damaging. Not to mention that every time you go to apply for credit, giving your social, they're putting inquiries on your credit, which lowers that as well. So this is why it's beautiful about business credit. You can get it and it's not linked to your personal credit. So they won't need to pull your personal credit to get approved. There's no inquiries and it doesn't report to the personal credit reporting agency. So you could max out those credit cards and have no adverse effect on your actual personal credit scores. There's also no personal guarantee, which is something we talked about. Personal guarantee by definition is something you're giving the lender where you're personally guaranteeing the debts because you don't have enough other credit established. Once you have enough business credit established, then you won't need to supply a personal guarantee. You won't be personally liable for your debt. That means if you default on the $10,000 credit card that's on your business credit reports, they can come after your business assets, but they can't affect you personally. They can't come after you personally. Okay, business credit is built fast. This is one of the best things about business credit is you can obtain business credit immediately today. The minute you leave the show today, you're going to have enough knowledge to start obtaining real usable business credit. Once that reports, you have a profile and score. It takes about 30, 60 days. And then once that happens, you can start getting high limit revolving credit cards, probably higher than you maybe have ever seen on the consumer side, because they're easily $3,000 to $10,000 limit cards you're getting, even within that 60-day, 90-day time period. And even the initial credit you get can often have limits of $2,000, $3,000. It's very fast to build. To give you an idea, the consumer world, FICO requires you have 6 months worth of credit established before they'll even give you a score. Whereas in the business world, you can obtain real business credit with high limits within a very short period of time. We can see your business credit reports. We kind of already talked about this a little bit, okay? So what happens is with business credit, anybody can see your reports. In the consumer world, we need your permission to pull your personal credit report. It's called permissible purpose per the Fair Credit Reporting Act. But in the business world, your prospects, your competitors, your clients, anybody can see your business credit reports. So that's kind of scary. The fact that on a whim, anybody can type in your business name and pull how many trade lines you have, your scores, et cetera, et cetera. That's a kind of a scary thing. But again, it's available to anybody that wants it, which is one of the reasons you need to control what other people are seeing on your reports. You have greater borrowing ability than you ever would. Credit limits in the business world are about 10 to 100 times higher than what's in the consumer world. That stat comes from SBA, not me. And your ability to get high limit loans and credit lines is significant significantly better with good business credit, because that's what they're looking at. You're applying for money for your business. They pull your business credit. If they see that you have a bunch of trade lines with high limits now, well, then they're going to approve you for even higher limits when you get the approval. And if they see you don't have credit, well, then they'll deny you as well. You don't need collateral, cash flow, or good credit to get approved. This is a really big deal. Probably one of the biggest, most important things I'm going to teach you today. Why? Because business credit's the only solution in this scenario. If you are here and saying, I don't have any kind of collateral, I have no cash flow, I don't have good credit, and I don't know of anybody else in my circle that has good credit, then you can't get a loan. You can't go to a bank. You can't go to any other company and get a loan because you don't have a lendable strength. But business credit still gives you the ability to quickly get money with high limits and access to a lot of money fast, without cash flow, without collateral, without credit. And even if you do have those, then it helps you get those loans at better terms and get more money. Access to loans and credit lines means you can fund your business using your profits to grow. And that's what it comes down to, is that, look, when you have access to other people's money, OPM, then you can grow your business even faster. Business credit is necessary to get access to those loans and credit lines that you're going to use to grow. And not to mention, you have a competitive advantage. If you're starting at the same time as somebody else in your industry, you have access to large amounts of business credit loans, financing, your ability to grow faster, to be able to thwart off possible, any kind of unexpected expenses, to be able to advertise to market, to do all the things you need to grow, are substantially better than those. So the one thing that I want to tell you is that every successful business in this country has business credit. Now, again, it's not to say that even as a startup you can't get it, but it's important to note that not only does this exist, but it's a rite of passage. You can't get in and have a company that becomes largely successful without business credit. So here's Facebook, for example. They've got 40 trade lines, as you can see. Here's Dell with 83. Here's Microsoft with 131. They've been around a long time, right? They've been around since the 70s, have 131 trade lines on their report. Here's Apple with 138, been around about as long as Microsoft. Here's Pilot, Flying J, 153 trade lines. Now, why am I showing you these companies? Because these are the largest privately owned and publicly owned companies that exist today. So I want to show you that not one of them doesn't have business credit. All of them do. Here's Publix, 171 trade lines. Walmart. So I'll tell you something that most people don't know about Walmart. 80% of what Walmart sells is paid for on credit, and then they actually pay the credit off with the money that you buy from them. So what happens is when you go to buy Bounty paper towels from Walmart, then they pay for those paper towels using business credit, and then they get your money and they use it to pay off the credit they borrowed. This is why they have 513 trade lines. Why does this matter? These guys are much bigger than what you probably are. Well, it matters because these guys are as big as they are because they've gotten very big and very good at using other people's money to do so. They realized early on that they could get access to money and use that money to fund and fuel their business, and they were able to excel their growth at a very rapid pace, the exact same as you can. Here's Mars Incorporated, Mars Bars. We all love Mars Bars. They have 22 trade lines, very well-established company. But here's another one of our clients that has 8 trade lines. Now, what's interesting is they spent about a year building these 8 trade lines, and they could have got a lot more. That's just as many accounts as they chose to apply for. So isn't this interesting? They have about a third or more than a third as much as what Mars does. One of the biggest companies in the country when it comes to privately owned companies, and you've got somebody that just started a year ago and he already has about more than a third as many trade lines as one of the biggest companies. Here's another one of our clients with 14. Pretty crazy. So this was done within less than a year. They built 14 trade lines. And again, Mars Incorporated, one of the biggest companies that exist in this country, has 22 trade lines. So I show you these last 2 because if you think that this won't work for you, here's 2 real examples where it has. These are 2 real companies that have already built a third and more than half as much as one of the biggest companies that exists today in this country, using the exact steps that I'm actually going to walk through today. So not only does every highly successful company have business credit, but again, anybody can get it. You're seeing 2 companies that started from scratch and did it. As a matter of fact, they made over $1 million in their first year using business business credit to do so. And I'm actually going to later on, I'll email you probably later tonight or tomorrow, an actual webinar where they were on with us. You see how many trade lines they have. They'll actually explain the steps they went through in the process, how fast they got money, the limits they got, when they started getting what kinds of accounts, all the way up to American Express cash credit. I'll send you that a little bit later, probably tonight or tomorrow. So how do you do it? We know now that there's a lot of benefits. We know now that every company that's highly successful has it, and that even the little guys can get it too. But what's the actual steps to build it? Well, this is actually the samples. And these were actually the ones I just mentioned, the ones that have the 14 trade lines. And this is exactly a quote from them. We went to our bank to get a business line of credit. They turned us down. We got started with Credit Suite, set up our business credibility, and built our business credit. And after following the steps, we've now secured over 96,000 in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum American Express and got approved instantly. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to get us money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited. If we don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with Credit Suite to have the same results we have. So again, I'm not going to just show you their results and show you this. I'm actually going to send you probably tonight or tomorrow a playback where you can listen to an hour-long webinar of their experience. And why that's good for you is you'll hear what they applied for in what order, what they got approved for, what the approval limits were for, exactly how they got from nothing to this 96 grand. You'll be able to hear in exactly how they did it from their own mouths, so you'll know what's possible again for your business. So how do you do the same thing? Well, the first thing you do is you've got to build your business credibility. So you've got to have an entity without liability and an EIN number. That's the very first step. You've got to get incorporated, and then you've got to get an EIN number once you set up your entity. Now, I'm asked often, can any entity build business credit? The answer is absolutely yes. A sole proprietorship, a partnership, an LLC, a corporation, any entity can build business credit. You have to understand, by default, sole proprietorships and partnerships mean you're personally liable for what happens in your business. That has nothing to do with the credit you build. That's just the entity you choose. So if you want to choose an entity where you don't have liability, then what you want to do is you want to go with an EI, you want to go with a corporation, S Corp or C Corp, or you want to go with an LLC, which is a limited liability company. And if you go with one of those, then that entity doesn't mean that you're personally liable. Then you can build credit for that entity, meaning you're not liable either. And you have to have an EIN number. Once you set up your entity, the next step is to get an EIN number free with irs.gov, and then you're well on your way to the next step. The next step is you have to have a physical business location. Now, what this means is it means you absolutely, under no condition, no matter what, you cannot use your home address on an application. You have to either use A, preferably a real physical business location. B, second to being preferred, is a virtual address, a place like Regis that'll charge you $150 a month to give you an actual virtual address that looks like a real physical address for a business, but you're just renting the address. And if you have to use a UPS or PO box, those are not preferred. You will get denied with some sources, but those are still better options than using your home address. So that's exactly kind of the order, if preferred, you want to go to. Have a real physical business address or a virtual address. Absolute worst case scenario, a UPS address or PO box is better than even trying to use a home address. You cannot use a home address, you get denied. You need to have your business phone number, and it needs to be listed with 411. And you'll need a business fax number. Now, look, maybe you'll find some way that I don't know about, but I can tell you that we use a company called List Yourself to list with the 411. We pay for this for our clients, but from what I've seen on their website, it's about the equivalent of $300 a year to get your number listed with 411. Blew me away. I thought you could just go online or call 411 and get listed. That's not how it goes. They search and scour the internet, and eventually you'll show up on 411, but especially in the beginning phases of your business, you won't. You've got to take steps to actually get reported with them, and if you can't find another source, as I haven't been able to, then you go with a company like List Yourself. So there might be a minor cost here to get this 411 set up. You need to have a professional email address, a website. Gmail addresses, AOL addresses will not work. My address, for example, or a company's address, info@creditsuite.com. That's what I would put on an application, info@creditsuite.com. So our domain goes with our email address, creditsuite.com. So I wouldn't want to put info@gmail.com or, whatever it may be. You need to make sure you have a real professional email address, a website. You can go to a place like monstertemplate.com and spend 70, 75 bucks to get a website. Go to a place called upwork.com and pay somebody 50 to 100 bucks to get your website put up. And for less than 200 bucks, you could get a website set up. And GoDaddy, you could get the domain as part of that, all for less than 12 bucks. You've got to have proper licensing and continuity with your listings. So if you're supposed to be a licensed plumber, you need to have the license. If you need to have an occupational license in your county, you need to have an occupational license, but you need to make sure you have the proper licensing. And you need to make sure that you're listed online the same way. You don't want to have your business name listed as one thing on Google and another on Bing and another on Yahoo. And just so you know, all the ones I mentioned have free listing services. They will promote and list your company at absolutely no cost, just because you actually go through and apply for them to actually do so. So proper licensing and continuity with listing is absolutely important. You need to be able to be easy to find online and then know who you are, because all your information, name, address, etc., is exactly the same. So the second step after you've done this, after you've made sure your business is set up credibly, and understand this is important not just for business credit building, but for business loans as well. So when you're applying for any kind of loan or any kind of credit, that is the secret criteria that they're looking at to determine whether or not they will approve you or deny you. So you need to make sure that you meet that criteria so you can get approved. Once you've done so, the next step is you really want to access your business credit reports, because your business credit reports tell you what's on your credit now. And if you go applying for new credit when you have bad credit, well, that's obviously problematic. So what you want to do is fix any bad credit you have before you actually start applying. The first step is to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet. Okay. Now, you can go to Dun & Bradstreet directly to do this. If you apply with them, they'll usually call you and try to sell you the Credit Builder program. And the Credit Builder program is like 140 bucks a month. That'll expedite you getting your DUNS number. Or you can go on and tell them you don't want the Credit Builder, and no matter what they tell you, you can get it for free. It just might take a few weeks to actually get it in the mail. You want to get a copy of your Dun & Bradstreet report. You can go directly to Dun & Bradstreet's website to do so. You want to get a copy of your Experian commercial report. You can go to Experian's report or direct website and do so. And you also want to get a copy of your Equifax commercial report. You need to see what's on your credit reports now to know if you should dispute anything before starting to build business credit. And you should at least get Dun & Bradstreet Experian, even if you don't get Equifax. And you should probably get credit monitoring with one of these as well, just so you know what's on your credit reports or how long after you start applying for credit before it reports. Because remember, I told you earlier that this is all about a tiered system. When you build business credit, success is about you applying for certain accounts in particular order. Well, how you know when to apply for the next tier of credit depends on how many trade lines you have on your actual credit report. So you need to see or have some kind of access to what's on your credit reports to be able to actually know that. And look, you know what? If you want to find this out for free, you can easily do so. You can go right to our website. We've got creditsuite.com. That's creditsuite, SUITE.com /free-business-credit consultation. That's creditsuite.com, free business credit consultation with a dash between free business credit and consultation. And we'll spend time with you. We'll pull your Experian report and score, go over it with you. We'll even give you a physical copy of your credit safe business credit report so you can keep the credit safe report for your records. So if you don't want to apply to see what's or you don't want to pay to find out what's initially on your credit reports, we'll gladly do that with you as part of the creditsuite.com /business credit, free business credit consultation page. And if you forget that at the end, I'll have some time for questions and I'll let you know. You can also get all these right here at creditsuite.com /reports. Again, it's not any better. You can go directly to D&B, Experian, and Equifax to get it. We're just asked about this so often that we put one link on our website to give you access to all three if you'd like a shortcut. And you want to fix inaccuracies and derogatory items before you even start building business credit. It's fairly easy to do. I mean, if you dispute online with the reporting agencies, we found that about 80% of the time they'll remove the negative items. It's just a matter of going through the process of disputing with them online. Any derogatory or inaccurate items you see on your report, you want to try to dispute to get corrected. After you've done this, the next step is you want to start building real business credit. And this is done with what are called starter vendors. So I'm going to hit a button here because I'm standing up right now. I have a standing desk, and I want to sit down. So I'm going to lower my desk. So you might hear this background noise as my desk lowers itself down. Okay, so starter vendor accounts is how you start building a business credit profile and score. So most of the time, let's look at the consumer world. When we start building credit in the consumer world, how we do it is we usually do it through secured credit cards, or we do it through somebody co-signed on a loan with us. Well, in the business credit world, we do this through what are called vendor accounts. These are vendors that will give you credit now, even when you have none already established. They usually offer net 30 terms. So what that means is, it means if you borrow $1,000 from them, you got 30 days to pay the $1,000 back. It's not like a revolving account would be. And this is the kind of credit you can use to initially get started. You'll need to find vendors that do report. There's 2 criteria you're looking for here. Vendors that will give you credit when you have none, A. B, creditors that will actually report the credit to the business credit reporting agencies, not the consumer. It's all you care about. All you care about is, do they report to the business reporting agencies? Will they give you credit if you have none? If the answer is yes, then you want to apply for those accounts. And you'll need 5 of those type of payment experiences before you can move on to store credit. Let me clarify here. You really physically need 3 real accounts to move on to the next tier, to the next step. I say 5 because what they're really looking for is 5 what are called payment experiences. And a payment experience is when you have one account that reports to Dun & Bradstreet and Experian both. That is 2 payment experiences. So you need about 3 accounts, or what are 5 payment experiences, which means 3 accounts that report to a total of 5 business credit reporting agencies to be able to get approved. So again, a simple example is, let's say you go out and get a Uline account that reports to Experian and Dun & Bradstreet. That would count as 2 payment experiences. So you need about 5 of those payment experiences to move on to the next account. So here, who are some of these companies that will give you credit and report it? Lockwood & Associates. They sell all kinds of corporation services. They'll help you set up your business. They'll help you do corporate minutes and all those type of things. Quill. They do office supplies. You can find a ton of stuff at Quill. Now, you need to buy $50 or more from these sources, because if they don't spend $50, they won't report it to the business reporting agency. So if you want it to get reported, you need to spend $50 or more. Again, mistake people make. They go, man, I went to Quill and I bought $30 worth of highlighters and it didn't report. Well, it didn't report because you didn't spend 50. You need to spend 50. Okay. Another account is Reliable Office Supplies. So Quill and Reliable are nice because they sell office supplies, which almost anybody could use. You know, I mean, you go spend $50, you could easily find $50 worth of office supplies to buy at places like this. Uline has to do with shipping supplies, all different types of things you use for shipping. Another good common source that you can easily use. Now, places like Quill and Uline, they might make you place 2 or 3 orders to approve you. So you go, you apply for Quill, you say, okay, I'm buying $60 worth of stuff. I want to apply for credit. They say, okay, apply, you get denied. Well, don't get frustrated. If you have absolutely no credit in your newer business, you might get denied. Then you buy your $60 worth of stuff and you come back and you buy another 50. And then on the second time they say, okay, you bought with us before, now you're approved. Or maybe it's the 3rd time before you get approved. So you'll get approved somewhere between the 1st and 3rd time without using your social. It just depends on how new you are into business and if you have any credit established already. Monopolize Your Marketplace. They sell marketing resources, all different types of things you can use for marketing. So I just gave you 5, which is more than you need, because all you need is 3 of them, or 5 payment experiences, which you can easily get from this handful to get your initial starter vendor accounts. Now, the next step after you have those 5 payment experiences reporting is then you need to make sure that you pay your accounts on time. So you spent the $50, you pay the bill on time. And then with 5 of those accounts, then you can start getting revolving credit accounts. And these usually have, again, as I mentioned, limits of 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit. That's not from me, that's from SBA. You can get this kind of credit without a personal guarantee. You can get this kind of credit without a personal credit check. Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, Dell, Apple, Staples, Office Depot, Amazon, Best Buy, Radio Shack, BP, Chevron, Sunoco, Nordstrom, Macy's. Most major retailers with that handful of accounts reporting will start to give you credit. There is a little bit of a catch. Some of them will still give you net 30 accounts in this tier. Some of them will start giving you revolving accounts. So who will do what kind of depends on how how many accounts you have before you start applying and who those accounts are with. So if you come in and you apply with no social for Staples, don't get frustrated if they give you a net 30 account. All that's telling you is you need a little bit more credit before they're comfortable with giving you the revolving account. But all these sources will give you either net 30 or revolving in this second tier as this next step. So how long does it take to get here? Well, from when you first start building, it takes you about 60 days to get here. The only thing that determines how long it takes you to build credit is two factors. One, how much credit are you applying for? That's based on you, nothing else. And the second factor is how long does it take that credit to report? Some sources only report once a quarter, but a lot of sources will easily report this within about 60 days. So on average, it takes about 60 days for you to get your accounts reported. Then you get to this tier. You get a bunch of accounts on this tier, about 60 days on average to get to the next tier, and so on and so on. So the next step is that you can actually start getting some cash credit. You can actually start getting a fleet credit here as well. So with about 10 accounts to 12 payment experiences, somewhere there are 10 to 12 payment experiences, then you can start getting cash and fleet type credit accounts. So fleet credit's more common. Fleet credit's where you're going to get, $15,000 to use on all different kinds of travel expenses that you may incur, or at one gas station chain that you can get it at 3 or 4 of their different brands of gas. That stuff is very common. Once you have 10 to 12 accounts, you're going to get a lot of fleet credit. Cash credit is sporadic. There'll be cash credit sources that offer you Visa and MasterCard with no personal guarantee, no credit check, that will come up and boom, they're available for 90 days. Then they go away and then they want that personal guarantee. Then they come back and then they want a personal guarantee. But what I can tell you is this: when you have 10 to 12 accounts reporting, you can get tons of fleet credit without an issue. Cash credit becomes available. Some sources still might want a personal guarantee or personal credit check, but it won't matter anyways, because once you've established the business credit here, even if you have personal credit issues, they're still going to typically approve you because your business credit's so strong. And again, there's still a lot of cash credit sources that are out there. Some will come and go. It's just a matter of depending on whether they'll require a personal guarantee or not. And it depends on how many accounts you have reporting, how much time you've been in business, those type of things. So cash credit sources kind of come and go, whether or not they want a personal guarantee or not. But there's tons of fleet credit available at this point as well. And this is the point where you really get to an area where you become lendable. So it really is just a matter of, it really comes down to how much credit you have reporting. You get those vendor accounts. That's the most important step because that gives you an initial profile and score. Once you get that, then you start moving in to actual store revolving credit, very high limit, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 credit limit accounts at most major stores within 60 to 90 days. You continue to get more and more credit, and then more of those tiers will open up. More of those revolving sources will open up. Then you start getting to fleet credit being available and even cash credit being available. And again, some cash credit wants a PG, some doesn't. So let me show you some real examples of this. So here are real business credit approvals. So here's one for $12,000 from PNC Bank. Here's one from $10,000 from Flagstar Bank. Here's one from Chase for $22,000. Okay, here's one for $15,000 from Citi. Okay, here's one for $10,000 from Chase. Okay, here's another real approval from $8,000 from Chase for an Ink card. Okay, here's another one from $7,000. Now, every single one I've showed you, every one, 100%, reports to the business credit reporting agencies. None of these are reporting to the consumer reporting agencies. This is real business credit. Here's a $50,000 approval here from American Express. Okay, here's a $10,000 from Bank of America. Okay, here's a $24,000 from Simply Cash, which is an American Express card. Okay, here's another $50,000 American Express card, different than the first one I showed you. So this is the kind of real credit that you're able to get when your business credit is actually established. This is real business credit that reports to the business credit reporting agencies, not the consumer reporting agencies. And here is another buddy of mine and a client of ours, Eric. Hi, everybody. My name's Eric. I've been using the Business Finance Suite for about a year, and a lot of people will tell you about how great it is, how amazing the customer service is, all those things. I just prefer to show you. So this might look a little weird on the video. I'm going to turn my phone around. That's what they did for me. Look at the average national score. This thing really works. Now, this is an actual video. I took the screenshots and the quote from an actual video testimonial that you can get on our website. And this is him showing that he's got an 86 credit score and how far above. That's excellent. And that compared to all other businesses, that's 85%. So he's on the top of 15% of all companies nationwide for business credit. And this is what he's really done, walking through the exact same steps that I've mapped out here for you now. So now let's talk a little bit more. We've talked about business credit, how you build it, how you get it, the step-by-step, why you'd want it, what's important. Now let's talk a little bit more about loans and credit lines. Well, first of all, let's talk about why money is even important. You know, most businesses fail, as we know. 1 out of 5 in the first 5 years. 15 will be gone within the first 70 or 75% of businesses fail within the first 15 years. That comes right from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Okay, per SBA, the 2 most common reasons for failure is management issues and insufficient capital. It's interesting because I just had somebody on my podcast last week, and the show will go live in a matter of weeks. And what he does is he does business valuations. And I talked to him about, you know, why most businesses fail, because he's in the startup game to help startups get money. And he said the same thing. He said, well, managers don't know what they're doing and they don't have the capital to make mistakes. To me, these two go hand in hand. When you have money, then you can afford to make more mistakes. Okay, with money, you can make more mistakes and fund your business instead of using your personal funds to do so. And it gives you the ability to make more mistakes. Okay, so if we look at Twitter, for example, Twitter's failing right now. We all know that. We all see that on the news. But what's interesting is Twitter has enough cash on hand to get through 400 years plus without actually going out of business. So they could stay in business and continue to lose money for 400 years when they have so much cash on hand to be able to actually fail. Well, most of us don't have that luxury. Most of us, even the slightest little shift in our business comes up, we could easily fail. So what happens? We know it's important. How do you get money? Well, most people statistically go to families and friends, about 75% of business owners out there. Most also use personal assets, and almost everybody uses personal credit to fund their business. Here's what's interesting. Only about 1.2% of business loans and financing actually comes from the big banks. So if you think you're going to go in and talk to your banker to get money, you're wrong. About 98% plus of financing doesn't even come from the banks in the business space. It's just not where you go to get money. The rest of it's coming from what are popping up now and known as alternative lenders. So funding a small business, don't even bother with the banks. I love this quote from Bloomberg about 1.5 years ago, which is very, very, very accurate. So how many people have you ever met who ever obtained an SBA loan? That's a good question to ask yourself. You know, if big banks are the answer to get money, how many people have you ever talked to that's walked in and got a big loan? And most people that I talk to, it's zero to very few. Okay. To get approved, your personal business and bank credit all need to be perfect. You have to have a bunch of money in the bank account. Your personal credit needs to be flawless. Your business credit needs to be flawless. Conventional bank loans are just very hard to obtain. Then you have to have excellent financials, tax returns, bank statements, your resumes, your business plan, your collateral, your background checks. All this stuff has to check out to get a loan from your bank. So I'm not saying banks are bad. Banks are fantastic. They offer SBA loans. These are long-term, low-interest rate loans. But the deal is, if you don't have all this stuff in check, you ain't going to get a business loan. And I know ain't isn't probably a word I should use, but I'll use it anyways. It ain't gonna happen. You've got to go to another source if you don't have a near perfect business to be able to get some. So about $7 billion will be lent to small businesses this year. Most of it is not going to come from the big banks. Again, the problem of getting money isn't knowing or isn't being able to qualify, it's knowing where to go to get money. So let's talk about a few different ways to do so. So cash flow financing is the most popular type of alternative funding that's out there today. These are cash advances. They look at your bank account management for approval. If you manage your bank account well, you stand a good chance of getting approved. You can get approved with $10,000 in deposits or more going to your bank account. We even have sources that will go as low as $5,000 and will still approve you. It's very fast, easy money, one of the fastest and easiest ways to make money that you're going to find. If you manage your bank account responsibly, have consistent deposits, chances are phenomenal that you can get approved for this kind of financing. And you could typically get as much as 12% of whatever your annual revenue is. We even have sources that will do more. We even have sources that will give you a first and other sources that will give you a second one of these to get even more. It's high risk lending. So as no collateral is being pledged, and you only need a 500 FICO score to get approved. So you can get approved with bad credit, and you don't need collateral to get approved for this kind of financing. And here's A real case study for one of our clients owns an OBGYN clinic. They attained about 30 grand in funding in 24 hours. The business needed expansion capital to make a big move. There were multiple challenges with credit scores and already had overextended credit use. And then using their consistent cash flow, they were able to get 30 grand advance and do it in record time in just one day. And it helped them get the money they needed for a new acquisition. That's part of the story. The rest of the real story here is that we got them private money. We got them unsecured financing. We got them more of these cash advances. And last time I checked, they'd already obtained about $1.5 million and opened up a whole other location. Another type of financing is collateral-based financing. So here the question is even as a startup, even if you have credit issues, you can obtain this. It's very low interest rate financing as well, lower than SBA in some cases, even lower than 2%. And what you need to qualify is some type of collateral. Maybe you have account receivables where people owe you money, or there's things you want to purchase using purchase orders. Maybe you or someone that wants to invest in your business, a family member, a friend, has stocks, bonds, 401ks, inventory, equipment. You can use this kind of financing to buy those or use those as collateral to get financing. Real estate, even an insurance book of business. And again, stick with me, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through, and after I show you this, I'll kind of give you an idea of how to get business credit financing all in one place. And at the exact same time, I'll show you kind of how we actually go through and get credit financing for our customers as well, so you can see that. Another type of financing, unsecured, is collateral-based financing. Credit-based financing is a great way to get money. Let me make a jump. This says collateral-based financing, but I'm moving on to a third kind of financing called unsecured financing. So with unsecured financing, then it's really based on good personal credit. You don't need collateral. You don't need cash flow. Even as a startup, you can get it. Now, you might say, well, I don't have good personal credit. You don't need good personal credit. You could easily use a family member, a friend, someone that wants to invest in your business, a business partner who does. So even if you don't have good personal credit, knowing that this is an option still opens up doors for you. You can usually get up to 150 grand, or about 5 times the amount of whatever your highest consumer credit limit account now is, or whoever the personal guarantor is. Why is this a big deal? This is the most money you'll ever get as a startup. You can get 50, 100, 150,000 even as a startup, based only on the guarantor's credit. Okay, and there's another client that got about 107,000 in this type of financing from Brea, California, which really helped them with cash flow, unlock new opportunities of growth, increase their revenue. So again, a lot of companies will use unsecured financing. It's 0% interest rates for about 6 to 18 months, and you can get up to 150 grand even as a startup, again, based on having good credit. So there's credit-based financing, cash flow, collateral, and again, you can get 0% financing. It's no doc, and the actual accounts report to the credit reporting agencies. And here, again, is some simple examples of credit. Another company that got about $61,400 using and getting this in unsecured financing. What else is nice about this program is it reports to the business credit reporting agencies. So you can get money for your business and build your business credit at the same time. If you have good personal credit, or you have someone around you that does, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get this kind of financing if you do. And then, of course, there's private money. If you do have tax returns, there's venture capital and equity financing. Even if you have a good idea and don't have tax returns, crowdfunding is another great source out there where you don't need cash flow, collateral, or credit. You can even get specialized funding to buy equipment, signs, vehicle wraps. All of this type of funding is actually available out there for you. And banks have their own credit score, something you should know. If you're going to get a business loan, then what you want to know is that your business bank account and how much money you have in there is an important part of getting a real business loan in a lot of cases. Okay, and this is called your bank rating. The total amount of borrowing capacity your business can obtain from the banking system is known as bank credit. And again, this comes from SBA. Okay, so it's really important if you're ever going to try to walk into your bank and get a loan that you have good business credit, personal credit, and bank credit. But bank credit only really matters if you're going to try to get a conventional bank account. And if you are trying to get a conventional bank loan from your bank, then you need to know that your bank rating is all based on how much money you keep in that account. Now, does that matter if you're getting any of the other kind of loans I talked about? No. Does how much money you have in your bank account matter about business credit building? No, it doesn't. It only matters if you're getting a conventional bank loan. And if so, it does matter, because what your bank rating score is depends on how much money you keep in your business bank account. But it doesn't matter with alternative lenders, and it doesn't really matter when you're actually dealing with business credit as well. And basically, it all comes down to how much money you have in your bank account and how you manage your bank account. That will determine your actual business credit scores. Okay, so I told you if I had time, and hopefully everybody has a little bit more time to spend with me, that I would show you exactly how we go through this process and obtain business credit and financing for our customers. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then I have some other stuff that I wanted to go over with you that I think will be really, really, really beneficial. But I want to show you the actual process that we use in real time to be able to build business credit for our customers. And why you want to see this? Well, I think it's pretty important. I think you're going to like it because what this does for you is it actually shows you a bunch more sources than I just showed you. So I'm going to go through and show you a bunch more business credit building sources you can use, a lot of different financing options you have, and exactly the process more in depth of building real business credit. So what you're looking at here is a system called the Business Finance Suite. And this is what we use to help our customers through the process of both building business credit and getting financing. Now, if I'm using this as an example to show you how to do it. If this is something you're interested in getting for yourself or even offering it as a service, and I'll dive into that a little bit later. So the first thing that happens when you start building business credit, again, as we talked about, is you're actually coming in and making sure your business is set up credibly. Now, I touched on some of these points, but you want to make sure you have your EIN. You want to make sure that you have your business name, your business address, your website in check, that you have the proper business licensing. All those things are important. Now, as you'll see here as part of our finance suite, this is a completely customized user experience. So if you already have a business name, you click yes, you enter your info, you move on to the next step. You're going to fly through the step pretty quickly. But even if you click no, you don't, well, then we're going to help you search Secretary of State records to see if the desired business name is available. We're going to talk to you about restricted industries so you can avoid those to have the best chance of getting money. And then we've got all kinds of video training that'll walk you through everything you need to know about getting a business name. If you're not listed with 411, I told you that list yourself charges about $300 a year. Well, with us, that's actually part of it. We pay for it for you. So if you say you don't have a phone number, you need one, we'll educate you on that, and we'll also get you listed with 411 just by selecting that, yes, you want to be listed. You don't have to pay that $300 a year, which is pretty cool. After you set up your business credibility, then again, the next thing you do is you go to make sure you're established with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. Now, we talked about getting your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet, but you also can do a search with Experian and Equifax to see if you're established. Our finance suite just makes that easy by clicking that you don't know if you're established. And again, what you can do is easily come in here and search Experian and Equifax to see if you're actually established. Now, another nice thing, and this takes a minute to populate, we're actually fixing this right now. Another nice thing about the finance suite, and this is because we're plugging in right now directly with Experian's database is what's happening. Another nice thing about this is, remember I told you you probably should have Experian credit monitoring and pay for that? Well, that's about $600 a year if you want to monitor how many trade lines are on your credit report. But with this system, you don't have to pay any of that, because what you basically do is can come in here and you can type in that you want your business credit reports by typing in your company name. And in doing so, you can actually pull your Experian business credit details without having to pay for it. So as part of our system, you actually get this at no cost, which is nice because that saves you about $600 a year from what you'd spend with Experian anyways. So you guys, you got to keep that in mind. I mean, if you want to build business credit, there are going to be some costs involved. You're going to pay the $300 for the 411. You're going to pay the $600 for Experian. Dun & Bradstreet often wants to charge you $800 to $2,000 for their credit builder program. So you could easily be into the business credit building for $2,000, $3,000 without even paying anybody to help you. Actually, I'll show you a way in a little bit here to even get started and pay much less than that, where you can actually get help through this entire process, technology, everything, and pay less than you would spend with the reporting agencies for this kind of access, doing it on your own. But you can see here that this is how many trades Walmart has. And this is where I got that screenshot that I showed you a little bit earlier. And this is why you want to check and see if you have trade lines before you start building your business credit reports. Now, the next step we talked about was getting access to real vendor credit. And in the finance, we just make it easy. So here's some others. Gimplers is one that we didn't mention. Granger, Labor Ready are some more starter vendor sources, and it goes on and on. So with our finance suite, what's nice is that you can come in and click Learn More, and we're telling you 3 important details: who they report to, what products and services they sell, and the actual underwriting criteria. This is why people get approved. They apply for or get denied. They apply for credit in the wrong order. They don't know who will approve them and what order they'll approve them. And so they don't know if they'll get approved before they apply. When we list the underwriting guidelines for each source like Quill, we explain to you exactly what their guidelines are, then you'll know you can get approved before you even apply. There's even a video that walks you through the approval process so you don't mess it up. And then in one click, you can go directly to their application and apply. So you can see how streamlined and easy this is. It just really simplifies the process of actually getting approved for business credit and financing, where you don't have to go through and struggle to find all these sources, apply, get denied because you don't know their underwriting guidelines, and all those things. We just map it out in a way where you can easily know those things. So again, you don't have to go through the trial and error. After you get those initial accounts, we recommend that you then get access to see what's on your business credit reports. If you haven't already used that Experian process that we give you where you can get it for free. So we teach you how to read your DMB, Experian, and Equifax reports. We also help you get your business credit reports with the 3 reporting agencies. And why this is important is that there's about 5 different credit scores on each credit report you'll pull. You need to know what those mean. You need to know there's a lot of stuff on business credit reports that's not on consumer credit reports. So we go through in this section and educate you on everything you need to know to understand how to read and actually work through business credit reports. And all these videos are fairly short. They're all about 2 to 5 minutes that will walk you through and teach you everything you need to know. So literally in less than 5 minutes, you're going to learn everything you need to know about your business credit report, the 5 business credit scores that are on your report, so you can easily go through the training and then get your reports and know exactly what's on those reports. Now remember, after those handful of accounts report, 3 accounts or 5 payment experiences, we talked about all that other credit you could start moving on to. Here it is. Amazon, Tiger Direct, Staples, Lowe's, AutoZone, Sherwin-Williams, Macy's, ABC Industrial Supply, Budget, fleet cards, okay, and on and on and on. You can see how much credit's actually available, and it goes on and on. So again, each source we list the underwriting guidelines so you'll know exactly what it takes to get approved before you even apply. You'll know who they report to. Okay, so this could be 2 payment experiences because sometimes they report to Experian and they report to DMB. You'll know if it's a net 30. You'll know if it's a revolving account that you're going to get approved at this point, all right here from this actual page and from this whole tier. So for example, Conoco, Exxon, these are all revolving accounts you can get with even 3 accounts from the tier 1 credit reporting on your reports. And again, you have access to the Experian Smart Business Monitoring, so you'll know if those report without even having to leave the finance suite. And there's more. Office Depot, Best Buy, Staples, Shell, Tractor Supply, Home Depot, Walmart, Amazon. Do you know what it takes to get approved for a Dell card? If you don't know, you could easily apply for Dell in the wrong order. And you'll see on a webinar, I can't teach you every single one of these underwriting criteria. But what's nice about the system is you can come in, click on Learn More, know everything there is to know about what it takes to get approved. That way you know you'll meet the criteria before you even apply. And on and on. Lowe's, Sears, BP, Speedway, Chevron, Sinclair Gas, Sunoco, and on and on. So almost most major retailers out there offer business credit accounts that don't require a personal guarantee, that don't require a personal credit check. And we walk you through the tiers in order and tell you how many trade lines you'll need or how many payment experiences to move on to each step. And again, I wish I could teach all this on a webinar, but to teach you every underwriting guideline for every major retailer would take way too long, and it changes often. So our team keeps up with this and notifies and makes changes in real time, so you'll have access to the most updated information. And again, a lot of these are the Visa, MasterCard, the fleet cards that you can get access to easily within about 120 days. So it takes you immediately, you can start getting round 1 credit. It takes you about 60 to 90 days to get to round 2 and round 3, and round 4 you get to in about 4 months. This is the fleet credit we talked about. This is the cash credit that we talked about earlier as well. And you also go to Finance My Business. So all the financing that we talked about as well is all available through the finance suite at the same time. So you can learn more about equity financing, unsecured financing, all those things we talked about. Watch video training. You can get the terms, the range. We even walk through a pre-qualifier so you'll know all the financing out there you can qualify for. Why? Because this is the biggest problem I found. I didn't know when I owned a business where to go to get money. I didn't know unsecured financing existed and that I needed this to get approved. So the finance suite makes it where you can simply enter your information in a finance qualifier. You just basically an online application. And then in doing so, you can then turn around and know all the financing you can get a finance officer that helps you with all aspects of actually obtaining financing. And again, if you have any kind of cash flow, credit, or collateral, you can get all different types of financing. Even if you don't, then good chances are that maybe you have a partner, a friend, a family member who wants to contribute to your business who easily does. And the nice thing about the finance suite is you're working with our processing team. We have a loan processing team and finance officers to help you with all aspects of getting your money quickly. And they actually go through the process, find the best terms, negotiate the best terms, go through, develop a finance blueprint with you, follow your money all the way till it's in your business bank account. The idea here when we created this was, what if you need money? Wouldn't it be nice just to call somebody and go, I need money? And then say, okay, how much do you need? What do you need it for? Let me ask some questions. Okay, here's all the money you can get. Here's the rates. Here's the terms. What do you want to go for? I want to go for this and this. No problem. Give me these 2 income docs. I'll move forward. They go through, they get the loan, they negotiate the terms, they do all the work, and then you get the next call. I got the money. I need it whenever you're ready to close. Here's the final paperwork. Boom, the money will be there tomorrow. That's exactly what our finance team does. And our business advising team helps with all aspects of the business credit building. So we actually walk you through step by step and help you with every aspect of building your business credit. They'll call you 5 times in the first 5 days. They'll spend 30, 60 minutes on the phone with you talking through how to set up your business entity or how to go through and apply for these 2 credit cards. They'll sit with you on the phone while you're going through the approval in case you get stuck. And all of this is, I'll show you, you could do for less than you'll even spend trying to do this on your own, because 411 Experience Smart Business is all included. We even help you get your DUNS set up at no cost, which is less than what you'd even pay on your own. And the other part that's nice about the finance suite is if you have any interest in offering this as a service, then this is exactly what you'll be doing. Our logo isn't here, yours is. Our team represents your company, not the finance suite. They're neutral. So this is all white label. You could sell the finance suite as your solution, help customers get financing, help them get business credit, make money on the front sale, get paid when they actually get funding as well, and we give you everything you need to be successful. You can add clients. You have a client dashboard that gives you the ability to actually manage your clients. So you can actually come here and manage the customers that you have, see all of their information. Okay, you can come in and track your actual funding commissions. Okay, there's even partner resources that'll walk you through a step-by-step training section with everything you need to know to offer business credit and financing as a service. Step 1. Okay, step 2, what you should know about business credit. Perfect. Let's go into step 2. 3 videos. Let's watch the first one, business credit benefits. The video in this training section is 8 minutes long. Easily 2 to 10-minute videos that walk you through and teach you everything you need to know to literally offer business credit and financing as a service. From how to get business credit, or what business credit is, what business financing is, what our team does, up to the advertising and marketing. Everything is laid out for you step by step, showing you exactly what you need to know to offer business credit financing as a service. Maybe it's your primary product. Maybe it's your secondary product. Maybe it's just something you want to do to help your family member, your friends. This all comes when you're actually enrolling with us. Not to mention, we're giving you everything you need to be successful. So we're giving you marketing. We're giving you email content, a year's worth of email content. You're getting social media posts. You're getting marketing flyers. You're getting articles and press releases and free reports and ebooks and guides and on and on and on. It just keeps populating. We're teaching you about how the funding works, all different kinds of training. We do live training every single week. So all of these resources are available, giving you everything you need to actually market and sell business credit and financing as a service. So again, you're getting articles, press releases, free reports, ebooks. You're getting email content, social media content. You're getting PowerPoints, videos, webinar videos, all as part of your system, and it's all available in the exact same section that you're going to be able to build your business credit. And you're also able to run and manage your sales team from here. Everything else you would need to do to manage your business credit financing and manage your own business credit and financing business is all part of the finance suite, which is pretty cool. So not only do you get this for your business, but you get the ability to actually sell it as a product and service as well. So back to where I actually was when I'm actually talking about this. So when we talk about that, as I mentioned, that's exactly how we build business credit and get financing for our customers. We do it all in one place as part of our actual finance suite. And what we think this is pretty much the ultimate solution for what you're looking for when it comes to getting money for your business. I'm going to show you again how to do this at a discount just because you stuck with with me so far today, and to do this for less than what you'd even be able to build your own business credit financing for. So again, you're watching this webinar on computer, phone, or tablet because you want probably the easiest and fastest way to get money and credit to grow. Okay, and you probably have already struggled to get the money and credit that you're looking for, and yet haven't found the exact solution. Okay, so why are finance suites probably a great fit for you? Well, you can get business credit for your business that's not linked to your social through the top business credit building system. This is the top, biggest, best technology that exists when it comes to building business credit. You get access to funding for your business to start, build, and grow. Okay, you're also getting our cutting edge technology, which helps you meet these credibility requirements before you even apply. Okay, you're also getting access to your business credit reports, get your smart business data, your free DUNS, through Dun & Bradstreet. And again, that's about $2,100 if you try to do it on your own. If you try to get the experience on your own, it's about $600. And again, if you're trying to do a 411 listing on yourself, it's by yourself, it's about $300. You're getting the largest supply of starter vendors. Look, even if you try to go out and do this on your own, you're only going to have access to a slight amount of the vendors that you could get as part of this. And again, I'm about to show you how you can get some really cool special bonuses, including some one-on-one time with me, as well as basically having a chance to get business credit financing without any risk. So massive selection of revolving store credit, underwriting guidelines, as you just saw, hard to find cash and fleet credit, no personal credit checker guaranteed on the credit that we talked about. On top of that, you're also getting access to all these financing options, cash flow financing with scores as low as 500. Okay, asset-based financing with rates as low as 2%. Okay, unsecured 0% financing up to 150 grand, even as a startup business. Private money, alternative SBA lenders, venture capital, even SBA loans, we can help you with all that type of financing. Term loans, $250,000 plus credit lines, all available through the actual finance suite itself. Plus, you become a licensed partner. So you get the ability to sell this through our white label system. Okay, you can offer funding for your customers without even selling business credit first and get paid. And our average commission per sale is about $2,000 or more. So on average, you're making about $2,000 in profit if you were to sell the finance suite to a customer. So a good addition to your existing product line or in replace of what you're doing now. And you get, of course, as we talked about, that complete back office with live training, 100 hours of training webinars, all the marketing resources that you need to get started. So, well, what's this all about? Well, look, I wanted to make sure that if you stuck with me through this, you now at least can leave knowing how to build business credit and get financing. If you want to stick around, I'm going to show you right now exactly how you can get it cheaper than you'll ever be able to get it on your own. Because if you're getting started with us as part of what we're actually doing today as part of this webinar, you're actually getting our core plan, which is usually retails for over $4,400, and you can get it for 6 payments of $497, or you can do 1 payment of $1997. Now, let me say 2 very important things. First of all, if these payments don't work for you, call us. We'll help you. Okay, this is just our standard plan, and I'm going to give you a link to get this without calling us. But if you say, Ty, I can't do $500 a month, I can do $300, I can do $400, I can't afford to do that option, then just let us know. We'll work with you. The $1997 1 payment option is lower than you'll ever pay to try to build your own business credit, because you'll have to pay for experienced business access. You'll have to try to go out and probably end up paying for your DUNS number. You're going to pay for 411. That stuff alone is $2,500. And to work with our team, get the technology, get all the underwriting sources, all the sources in order, the tiers, the business advisors, access to the financing, access to the finance officers, and the ability to sell this as a product and service is all easily 20% less than you'd ever pay on your own to actually try to do this. So again, you're saving a lot of money as part of the special that I'm actually offering you just because you stuck with us. Because you did stick with us, you're saving a ton from the $4,400 retail that you'll pay. And this is only valid as part of this webinar. So if you see this on YouTube many months down the road, don't call us and say, I want that awesome deal. You took the time to register. You took the time to come to the live show, and maybe you're listening to the recording. So because you registered for this event, that's why the special is being extended to you. But look, I've been ripped off before. Made bad decisions. I made embarrassing decisions that have been embarrassing to me with business partners to discuss, and even with my wife, by trusting the wrong people. And I don't want you at all to feel that that's even a possibility here. So what we're going to do is you're getting full access to everything with your first payment. So that means even if you are paying payments, when you make the first payment, everything I talked to you about, including bonuses, you're getting immediately. So that shifts the risk to us. So there's no downside really, because you're getting everything. We're not making you pay the full amount before you get access to everything that I've shown you, the finance suite, the back office, the business credit builder, the financing, all those things are available even with the first payment. And we're doing this because I know that you're going to love it. So it's easy to get started. creditsuite.com/webinar special. I haven't even talked about the guarantee yet, so let me dive into that. You can go to creditsuite.com/webinar special, no dash between webinar special, and access this pricing page that's only going to be valid here for a very little time. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. And once you complete your order, you immediately get everything. What happens is you complete the order, you get several emails that give you login credentials, and literally within minutes, you're in the finance suite and well on your way. And again, not done just yet. So there's also some bonuses. The first is if you're interested in offering business credit financing as a service, I'm going to give you a ready to publish book on business credit. One of our clients goes all around the country and does book signings and does seminars everywhere selling business credit using the same published book. So this is a big asset. We've got other clients that take our book, they put their name, their bio on it, they put it on Amazon, and they're making money with it right now. You're also getting an upgrade to our VIP partner program for 30 days. So everything I showed you as part of our program doesn't come with this core offer. But what we are going to do is we're going to give you access to this core offer that's usually only for business credit and financing as part of the special for 30 days. So you get the full partner program and all the benefits that go with it as part of the special for 30 days. If you want to upgrade, it's not a big deal to upgrade after that. But again, as part of the special, you're getting everything in our core package. We're even giving you that upgrade for 30 days. You're also getting a 30-minute coaching session with me. One-on-one, first 10 that enroll. I'm limited on time. So if you enroll, not only are our advisor and our finance team there to help you, not only do we have a support team that helps you actually sell business credit financing as a service, but I'll spend some time with you one-on-one too, answer any questions that you have, walk through, do an analysis of whether my own personal advice on things you could do to build your business credit and getting loans, or even give you the ability to talk to you about things that I've learned with selling business credit financing with insider tips. If you ever call our office, you know you won't get me. I have 100 gatekeepers there. And it's not because I don't want to talk to you. It's just because I have a massive enterprise here to run and hundreds, about 1,000 partners that I'm responsible for overseeing and helping be successful. But as part of this, the first 10 that enroll, I'm going to spend 30 minutes with you as well. And I mentioned the guarantee. If you get started but don't feel what you receive is worth every penny of what you paid for, or that you have or will be able to make many times what you spent, then what we're going to do is or you can cancel anytime within 30 days, receive 100% of your money back. So you can enroll, pay even your first payment, get access to our business credit builder, our finance qualifier, get access to all the back-end partner resources, our finance officers, our processors, our business advising team, get the bonuses, all of that. And if you want to cancel, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Look, here's the deal. We don't want you to be here if you don't want to be here. We want to work with people that are serious about building business credit and financing, because you're going to need to take the steps to actually do it. We'll help you. We'll hold your hand. We'll give you concierge service to help you every step along the way. And my team is handpicked by me. They are the best in the business, but you have to want to do this. And if you want to do this, we want to work with you. If you decide a few weeks in that it's not for you, then no questions asked, unconditional guarantee, boom, you get your money back, and all is good. That's how we operate. This is why we have no customer complaints anywhere online. It's why we have an A Business Better Bureau rating when we don't pay to be accredited. It's why we have a 5-star rating on Trustpilot with like tons and tons of real reviews from customers, because we do what we say we can do. We take care of you. And if you, for any reason, don't want to be here, then we give you your money back and you're off. Okay, so creditsuite.com/webinar special. So to recap, your own business finance suite that we walk through, discounted business credit reports, okay, because you get the Experian Smart Business without having to pay. As a matter of fact, if you want to see your free Experian report and score, know what's on there. If you want to get a free credit safe report as well, we'll give that to you as part of the special. So you basically get started, or I'll give you the number to contact our team. You say, look, I want a free Experian report review. We can't give you your Experian report, because Experian won't let us, but we'll go through your report and score with you. We'll even give you a full-fledged credit safe report. You get that ongoing Experian Smart Business Monitoring. We're helping you get your DUNS number for free, which saves you over $2,000. We're helping you get the Experian Smart Business Access, which saves you $600. You're getting the largest supply of starter and vendor sources, massive selection of revolving store credit accounts, hard to find cash and fleet credit accounts. You're also getting access to cash flow, asset-based, and unsecured private money sources, our finance team and our processors. And you're getting these 3 bonuses: your own ready-to-publish book on business credit. You're getting access to that VIP partner program for 30 days at no cost. And you're getting, for the first 10 enroll, a 30-minute coaching session with me as well. And don't forget the guarantee. If you don't think that it's worth every penny of what you paid, or that even you'll be able to make a lot of money, but more than what you spent, then you have an unconditional guarantee for 30 days. So how does a partner program work? Well, the partner program, on average, our partners sell the finance suite for about $2,500 to $3,500, and you're getting in even under that. So you usually, on average, are selling it for $2,500 to $3,500, and you're paying $500 to $700 on the wholesale side for every one you sell. So that's how I tell you that you're actually making, on average, about $2,000 a pop. And then you can also make money on the financing as well if you decide to get in on this. So what that means is, it means if you ever sell even one finance suite, you more than paid for your own enrollment as well, and even made a profit, which is pretty super cool. So creditsuite.com/webinar special. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. I've got a little bit of time before I jump on with our actual partners for a partner webinar at 3. I have a special guest, so I have to get to him a little bit earlier than 3, but I'm going to answer every question that you have until then for about another 5 to 10 minutes. And if you are interested in getting going, I just told you where to go, creditsuite.com/webinar special. But look, if you want to talk to somebody before you get started, well, then get with us right now. 877-600-2487, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. Don't get me wrong, when we do a webinar like this and have a lot of attendees, a lot of people fill our phone line shortly after. So for any reason you get the voicemail, just leave a message. Know that they're dealing with a lot of other people, probably from the same webinar that you're on right now, and they'll give you a call right back, okay? Because we have about twice as many support team members as we do sales, guys. That's how we keep our customers happy. So just keep in mind, if you do hit voicemail, leave a message, and they'll call you right back. But our guys know this is going on, so they're there to help answer any questions that you may have, and even do an Experian report review with you before you even enroll. If you want to do that, we'll do an Experian report review, score review with you. We'll even get you access to your credit safe report. So I'm going to go in here and let me answer any questions that you have. I'm glad that I've joined Charlton. I am too, man. I'm glad that you were here, and great webinar, and I appreciate that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to pitch you here. If you want to get started with us, I'd love to work with you. I'd love for you to be part of our tribe, and it'll be even cheaper than you doing it on your own. But my goal is that even if you decide you don't want to work with us, that you still leave the webinar with actionable information, which I think we've done here. You now know about business credit, know about financing, bank ratings, a lot of those things, even if you do decide to do this on your own. Although I'd love to actually work with you if you don't. Rick, yes. Greg, what's up, man? Charlton, it works. Greg, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. So you must be an active client. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. Can I just do the small business and build my own business credit at the same time? Can I just do this as a small business? Sure. I don't know if I necessarily understand your question. But we'll see. Actually, I think I'm on my second company I'm building credit for. That's good. What about other countries, perhaps Canada? AJ, you can't get loans if you're in another country in the United States unless you have a social, but you can get business credit. You just need to go through the same steps we outlined in the finance suite. We'll walk you through all steps of doing so. You need to have an EIN number, which you can get even as a resident of another country. Once you have the EIN number, you can still get business credit. You just can't get loans. Are there any finance licenses required? No, there's not, because that's the beauty of what we do. We are required to have licenses in many states, but since you are not touching the actual end financial product, you don't have to have a license, which is pretty cool. So this is unlike credit repair, where you can charge up front, you can market across state lines. You don't need special licenses because we have the licenses, because we deal with the financial products. That way you absolutely don't have to, which is pretty cool. Can I just do this as a small business and build my own business credit at the same time? I'm not sure I understand your question, Rick. You might want to ask that a different way. Great information. Have to get to another appointment. Good luck, everyone. Thanks, Robert, for joining us. I appreciate it. You probably already jumped off, but I appreciate you coming. You may want to look into virtual PBX phone system also. There's there's a lot of ones. We use Ring Central as a business phone number online. It's great. It's cheap. It's like 10, 15 bucks a month, which is cool. You need to look into a virtual PO box. Looks like I'm reading them from top down. Business creditors look for that. They do look for your virtual address and your virtual phone. Year, as long as they're after an EIN, not sure. Will this work for a home-based business? It will. And this is where they were telling you probably want to look into a virtual address. That's the answer for a home-based business. Can I use a nonprofit? You absolutely can, Rick. Any nonprofit can build business credit. This will work. Will this work for a church? Jesus, yes, it will. Not only will it work for a church, but we actually have special business loans for churches. We have lenders that this is what their specialty is lending to churches. And we have like all kinds of weird industries. We've got somebody called today that's in the pod industry, and we have lenders that specialize in that industry. Not to probably mention that at the exact same time as I'm talking about church lending, but yes, we do. We actually have specialized lending that works for a lot of different industries, including churches. Many mortgage brokers have experience with this. That wasn't really a question, so I'll skip that. And I don't have any other questions, so I'm going to go back to the top and go down and go up. Actually, let me do that way. Okay, what about on a second company? Okay, do I need to pull my DUNS and Experian business credit report if I'm a newly formed company since I don't have any history? You don't have to, Reginald, but you probably want to use that Experian Smart Business tool if you do have the finance suite to see if you have any trade lines. And it's interesting to pull your report anyways, just to see. If I was a brand new business, I would either go to Experian or Dun & Bradstreet and pull my report, or give our team a call. You see the slide here, 877-600-2487. We'll pull your Experian for you and tell you what's on your profile and score, or we'll even give you a copy of your credit safe report. So what you might not know is that every utility company, rental companies, all these sources use or give their information to the business credit reporting agencies. So even if you're a brand new company, you still might have a business credit report and score. Even if that report and score doesn't have actual trade lines on it, it's still interesting to see what information these guys do have. We can pull that for you, or you can look yourself, but I would at least look at Experian or DB just to see if they have any record for you. Thanks, great. Thanks, very good, Ty, no problem. I appreciate you coming on. Can a nonprofit business qualify for business credit? Yes, a nonprofit can build business credit just the same as a for-profit can, but it's a very good question, because most nonprofits cannot get business loans unless you have tax returns that show a profit. So business credit's a good answer for you there, where most other funding sources just simply won't work for you. Why does it take so long to get a D&B number? Because they want you to pay for it. That's a simple answer. If you pay for D&B's credit builder for 140 bucks a month, they'll give you your DUNS instantly within a day. But if you don't buy their credit builder, it could take a week to 4 weeks to get your DUNS number. They intentionally delay it because they want you to buy their credit builder. That's the real answer for that. Are each EIN number associated separately with each DUNS if you have more than one company? Greg, that's a great question. And the answer is that usually your DUNS is associated with an address. So your business credit profile and scores really look at your address. So if you have one business or multiple businesses trying to use the same address, it can cause a cross population of information from one of your companies to another. So location is important, but yes, every separate EIN number should have its separate DUNS number as well. You just need to keep in mind that you probably don't want to put those all under the same address, or that could create issues. Can I use this Experian score tool on similar business to find other potential good sources that also report? Can I use the Experian score tool, that's Experian Smart Business that we looked at, on similar businesses to find other potential good sources that also report? You don't need to. If the finance suite lists for you pretty much every legitimate source out there that actually reports. You can use, if you go to Experian, you're able to research other companies and the reports that they have, but yet that's not going to really help you unless you're looking at the actual trade lines they have and seeing who reports and who doesn't. And a lot of those reports won't even give you the specific trade lines that report. They just give you basic trade line data. So finding other sources that report, using Experian or D&B reports to do so is not the best method to do it. We go through a very painstaking process. We just have our finger to the pulse and are constantly calling on vendors and any kind of sources that we know of to see if they report. The new tactic we're using is we're helping them report. We've got with Experian, we now go to sources that don't report, that have good products and services, and then we help them report to Experian because it gives our customers an advantage. Nobody else knows those sources even exist or report because we got them to a point where they report, and then we make those sources available for our customers, so our customers have access to some exclusive sources that other people just don't have access to. But actually accessing business credit reports to find reporting sources, probably going to be a tough road for you to go down, not the best way to go about that. Are the book details on the website? If you want to know what the book details are, it's real simple. Go to Amazon.com and type in my name right here, Ty Crandall, you can see on the slide, or type in Business Credit Decoded. That's my book on Amazon. That's the same book I'm giving you. I'm giving you rights to my actual book, Business Credit Decoded, and I'm giving you all the details of putting your own bio in there and making it your own. So if you really want book details, go to Amazon. I think there's a bunch of real reviews on there. There's, a description of the book. I think you could even look at certain sections of it. The book is also on Kindle, and the book is also on Audible.com. So any of those sources you can go to actually learn more about the book, but Amazon's probably the best. Side note for potential members, D&B just tried to charge me $4.99 up for their number. Yeah, Greg, that's very true. What happens is if you go to get your DUNS number from D&B for free, they'll try to upsell you their credit builder package. Usually they try to upsell you for $800 to $2,000 for that package. So Greg, it's a good deal, man. They only tried to upsell you for $500. But the good news is, Greg, is that with our finance suite, you don't need the business credit builder, because all the business credit builder does is take existing accounts you have and add it to your D&B report. We help you get real usable credit and build your business credit that way. So you save that $500 with the finance suite because you don't need that credit builder. I ordered it free instead. Good. Because remember, you can get your DUNS number for free. You don't need the credit builder to do so, even though they'll try to tell you you do. It just takes a little longer to get the DUNS, as we just talked about, 3 to 4 weeks. That's right, Greg. As we just discussed, it takes about 1 to 4 weeks to actually get your DUNS if you don't pay for it. If you do pay them for it, then it easily can come within 24 hours, but you don't need to pay for the credit builder to actually get your DUNS. So I made it through all the questions. I don't have any other questions. I'm going to wrap this up. I have to get to our existing partners and do some live training with them right now, where my own personal business credit coach is doing a presentation with them today. So I'm pretty excited to have him on with them today. So again, hopefully I've answered all your questions. Hopefully you're leaving here with a lot of actionable information on how to build your business credit, how to get financing. And hey, I'd love to work with you. If you decide to join our tribe, be part of our group, then we'd love to have you. We've got 10,000 plus happy customers so far. We've got 1,000 partners around the country offering business credit and financing as a service that we help them be successful in the space. So I really feel like we've put together the best technology and the best team out there to help you do 2 things. Offer business or get business credit for your business and walk through all aspects of doing so, getting business loans for your business and walking through all aspects of that, and also offering business credit and financing as a service. Several of those niches, or a couple of those niches, we completely dominate. If you've looked, you'll also, if you've looked, know that we have really the top technology in this space by far, and a very, very deep team that will help you with every aspect of being successful. Offering business credit financing as a service if you choose to, or even just helping you with all aspects of building your business credit and financing. You get a really good deal, less than $2,000 to get started. First payment of $500 is all it takes. And we can even work with you on lower payments if you'd like. We'll do a free Experian credit report review and score with you. If you'd like, just simply give us a call. We'll also give you a free copy of your credit safe, so you don't need to pay for your business credit reports and scores. And as well, don't forget about our guarantee. We guarantee you're going to be happy. If you're not in 30 days, you get your money back. Nothing to lose. And you get it all with even your first payment, which shifts the risk to us. So you're getting a lot for not a lot of money. I know $2,000 isn't the cheapest, but it's still cheaper than you're going to pay on your own to try to do this. And you're getting our help. You're getting our technology. You're getting our team. I'll even Look forward to the first 10 that enroll spending some time with you. So how long is the special valid for? Well, it's Tuesday. So I'm going to do this probably through Thursday because I know some people are going to watch this on playback. So if you're interested, you go through this and you get with our team today or no later than the end of the day, Thursday, then we'll give you access to the special, the bonuses, the discount. Remember, the retail for what we're talking about is about $4,400 and we're doing it for less than $2,000 and you can break it down into payments. So hopefully we get a chance to work together. I'd love to work with you. Any other questions? I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Greg, if I have someone who wants to just apply to see if he could qualify, new in business, and then have questions, who would I call? You can get with us. You can go right here, info@creditsuite.com, 877-600-2487. Don't get me wrong. You can communicate directly with Greg as well. Seems like a stand-up guy. We can help you too. We can tell you, we have a system called a finance blueprint qualifier. So we can tell you right away if you can get funding. As a matter of fact, we have a link, creditsuite.com/get funding. No dash in between those words, get funding. And you can go right there and fill out a finance qualifier to see what you or anybody may qualify for financing wise. If they have cash flow credit or collateral, if they don't, remember business credit's an answer. Anybody can get approved. You can also feel free to email us, info@creditsuite.com, call us 877-600-2487, and we'll be able to walk through and tell you whether you or anybody else qualifies for financing as well. And as a matter of fact, if you don't even want to buy the business credit builder, you just want a loan and you qualify, you can come in and pay no money at all, and we'll help you actually get financing for your business. And then maybe you even want to use that financing to get into the business credit builder package, whether you do or you don't. If you do qualify for loans, we can help you get financing without paying a dime. And then, of course, what you're paying for here is the partner package. You're getting access to the business credit builder, those type of things, or maybe we can even help you get the money to qualify for that or to actually buy that if you qualify for financing as well. Calling in for offer, great. I'd love to talk to you. And see you, Greg. It was nice having you on, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Does it work for real estate? Yes, real estate is our fourth top industry because nobody can get financing in the real estate industry, and we can. We have a business credit, which we can get you. We can also get you the 0% unsecured financing up to $150,000 for real estate. So many of our customers use both of that for business credit. Best number is to call the Credit Suite number, 877-600-2487. Appreciate that, Greg. Yes, does work for real estate. Okay, sounds good. Well, listen, thank you everybody very much for taking the time to join us today. Look forward to helping you obtain business credit, helping you obtain financing, even helping you offer both as a service if you're interested in working with us. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day.